Okay, hi everyone. Welcome to our live stream. We're back here at 5 o'clock at our usual time, and we did start, just maybe about 1 minute past 5. So welcome everybody to the stream. I'll start giving some shout outs to some people that are out there, but what I want you to do is start sending me some of your band questions. Some questions, maybe let me know. I gotta plug in my phone because my phone is actually starting to get low on battery, so let me do that. Dennis, while I'm plugging in my phone, because my battery is about to die, can you do you see a good question we could start with today?
Yes, Mike Hamilton says, do you ever accept videos of people playing instruments, give them constructive criticism?
Ah, okay. Yeah, that would be great. You know, I was actually just thinking about this the other day. Folks, if you would like to share with me a video of you playing your instrument, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a link up on my website, my website is drselfridgemusic.com. So if you guys check out that website, I will be putting up a link where you can contact me. There might even be a contact me email on that website, and you can send me a video of you playing your instrument. I can give you some feedback and maybe some encouragement. So that was a great question, Mike. Thank you for chiming in with that. I want to give some shout outs to some of my friends who are here. Laith is here, and Sam, and Israeli is here, Israeli Dancing, and Hyped is here. Hyped is new. Hello, Hyped. Thank you for being here. Allison is here, and Carson. Games Pulse is here. So thank you so much. Ashley is here. What I have here today, guys, I know my camera's a little crooked because I had to plug it in. I was low on battery. Should have charged before the show here. So what I have here is my Soprano Sax. I've had some people requesting Soprano Sax for the past couple weeks. So my Soprano Sax plays higher notes than the tenor sax. It's in the same key, and it is exactly half the size of a tenor sax. Okay, so I see a lot of great questions coming in. Thank you, Carson, for all the support. I appreciate it. So Soprano Sax has some really nice high notes. It's a very beautiful instrument. And let's jump to a question. Dennis, there's so many great questions coming in. Is there one you can highlight for us?
Yeah, Lilo was asking, can band pieces have a symbol of something, and how do you instruments get their pitch?
I'm trying to understand what they mean by that question. How do instruments get their...
Yeah.
What was the first part of that question?
It says, can band pieces have a symbol of something? And how do the instruments get their pitch?
Okay, I don't quite understand that question. So maybe if that person could... Oh, I see it.
Like, yeah.
Yeah, I don't really understand that question. So maybe if that was your question, maybe try to ask it again, and I'll do my best to answer it if I can understand what you're asking there. So someone is asking me, Armin, how do you kazoo on saxophone like Leo P? Interesting. I don't know. I'd have to look. I don't know what you mean by kazoo, but I love Leo P. He's really awesome, very talented sax player. Let's see here. Carson is playing the saxophone hard. It's not so hard. Kazoo is in a growl. Okay, I'll talk about how to growl on the saxophone. Saxophone is not so hard. The hardest part is getting your mouth position right. You have to make an O shape, and your bottom lip goes over your bottom teeth, and your top teeth go on the mouthpiece. Really work on getting a nice steady tone on your saxophone, and that's the most important thing. And Carson says, practice more. Yes, exactly. Clarinetist, what's harder, clarinet or saxophone? Well, I would say clarinet maybe is slightly harder because when you play, you have to cover up the holes, and that takes a little bit more. Sometimes if you're going from saxophone to clarinet, some people have trouble with that. I'll get my reed wet on clarinet. Noah Higgs, what are some best tips for creating perfect tone? Best tip I have for tone is play long tones, which means play a note and hold it for as long as you can and work on listening to your sound, getting all of the spit or fuzziness out of your sound, and trying to make your sound as pure as possible with just playing long tones like this. Like try to hold it perfectly steady and listen to the sound you're making. That's long tones. Okay. Okay, let's see. Play something from SpongeBob. Well, that's easy. I can play the SpongeBob theme. There's the SpongeBob theme. I saw a great question come through. What was the question that oh, you know what? I wanted to ask. I wanted to answer the question about how to growl on the saxophone. There was a great question about how to growl, and that is when you make your saxophone sound like this. So a regular tone is this, and then a growl is this. So literally all I'm doing, let me put my neck strap on. All I'm doing is I'm going, I'm growling, I'm not growling, I'm humming with my voice as I play, okay? And so if you hum at the same time as you play, you get a growl, and that's how you do it. Okay. Ashley is asking, why do some clarinets not have a neck strap loop? The answer to that, Ashley, is not everyone uses a neck strap when they play, and actually, I guess using a neck strap when you play the clarinet is maybe more of a newer trend, because the older clarinets don't have neck strap loops, and so you'll find them on some of the newer clarinets. Some professionals use neck straps, but it's just something that not everyone does. So our friend Mike was asking, Mike Hamilton, have you got tutorials on the scales, struggling to the minor scales? Okay, you know, making tutorials on how to play scales is something I really want to do. Those would be some a great series of videos to make. I just need to, you know, add that to my to-do list. But so Mike, you're working on minor scales. Here's a tip for you, all right? If you take a major scale, and I see Jason Nguyen, I see your question about Yamaha versus Selmer. I'll answer that in a minute. So take a major scale. So what you do is if you take that G major scale, but if you start it 2 notes lower, so I'm going to play G major scale, but I'm going to start it on an E. So an E is 2 notes lower than G. So G, F sharp, E. I'm going to start on E and play the notes of a G major scale. And that's how you get a minor scale. So I hope that helps you. Marcia wants to know if I can make a video, add that to my request list. And I was going to go back to a question about Yamaha versus Bundy, and that was Jason. Jason's question, would you buy a Yamaha Alto Sax or a Bundy? You know, a lot of buying saxophones is personal preference. I think probably Yamahas are generally a little bit more expensive than Bundys, and some people consider them a step above. So I would, if at all possible, I would suggest you try both of them. Oh, I'm getting some lag here on my stream. Sorry about that, guys. So go with what fits your budget, because they're both good saxophones. Okay, let's see. Still getting some lagging here. Sorry about that, guys. Lath is asking, how do instruments get their key and concert pitch? All right, so I'm going to do a quick review of keys and concert pitch. So the instruments that don't have to transpose in the band, does anyone know which instruments in the band don't have to transpose? So if I said play a C to match the piano, Faster Crafter, I'll get to your questions in a minute. I'll get to your question about how to play C on the clarinet. Does anyone know which instruments in the band do not have to transpose? So Ace got one, good, and also Hyped got it. A percussion doesn't have to transpose. Gary, right, guitars don't have to transpose. There's other ones too, not just flutes. There's other instruments that don't have to transpose. A lot of you are getting flute. Sam got it, good, tuba. Also, Lath got violins, good. Trombone, Faster Crafter got, good. Lath got bassoon. Oh, you guys are good. All right, so all of those instruments don't have to transpose, but some instruments have to transpose. So if I said, everyone play a C to match the piano, here's my piano here. Okay? If I want to match that C on piano, if I'm playing clarinet or trumpet or tenor sax, I have to play a note one note higher. So there's a C on the piano. I have to play a D on the clarinet. If I'm playing alto sax, I have to play an A to match the C on the piano. And if I'm playing French horn, which I don't have a French horn with me, you would have to play a G to match the C on the piano. So that's a little bit about transposing. Okay, Faster Crafter is asking me, how do you play a C on the clarinet? All right, well, that's easy. All right, I'll teach you how to play 3 different Cs. The low C is right here. Thumb, 1, 2, 3. The next C, you keep thumb 1, 2, 3, and you add 1, 2, 3 on the bottom. You add this pinky right here, and you add your thumb on the register key right here. And then the high C, you lift up all your fingers, and you just have your thumb and the register key. And I have my clarinet in my hands, and Betty has just requested Happy Birthday on the clarinet, so I'll play that for Betty. And does anyone here have a birthday coming up? I'm going to play Happy Birthday. There's Happy Birthday on clarinet. Okay. Gabriella, how do you play D on the flute? I'll give you a reminder. I have a video on that, but I'll show you real quick. Thumb, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Dennis, we haven't checked in with you in a few minutes. Any questions?
There was an earlier question from George, wanted to know, have you met anyone famous?
Oh, yeah, I saw that question. Someone asked me, have I ever met anyone?
Other than Uncle Joe.
Other than Uncle Joe and Dennis. Have I ever met anyone famous? Let me think about that. Have you guys ever met anyone famous? Has anyone out there ever met anyone famous? I have met some famous musicians. I played a concert one time with a famous singer from, when was Darlene Love, when did she get started, Dennis? Was that the 60s?
Yeah.
Yeah, I played a concert with a very well-known singer named Darlene Love. That was a lot of fun. I got to play with Steven Van Zandt, who plays guitar with Bruce Springsteen. I got to meet Emeril, the chef. That was fun. Has anyone here ever met anyone famous? Let me know. No, George, I've never met Michael Jackson. Okay.
Most likely to.
Yeah. Let's see here. Yeah, so tell me who you guys have met. That'd be very interesting to know. Okay. So, oh, really? Hyped, you met you met the YouTuber Earspasm Music. He's a really good bass clarinet player. If you guys have ever seen his channel, he's really has a really great bass clarinet channel. He has a lot of great information. Okay. All right. So Dennis highlighted another question from Brainy's Pie. Is alto a B flat instrument? No, alto sax is an E flat instrument. Okay, so we call alto sax an E flat instrument. And you know why it's called an E flat instrument, by the way? So it's called an E flat instrument because when you play a C on the alto sax, what actually comes out is an E flat note on the piano. All right. Ayub, I see your question about C sharp major and alto sax. I'm going to answer that in a second. Okay. So when you play a C on the alto sax, it comes out in E flat. Listen. That's why it's called an E flat alto sax. And that's why a clarinet is called a B flat clarinet. Because when you play a C, what's actually coming out is a B flat on the piano. Okay, and that's why. Okay, Mike has met some famous people. Cool. Okay, so I'm going to answer someone's question, I forget who it was, about how to play C sharp on the alto sax, a C sharp scale, I guess what you mean. Ace, Pez, are tenor and alto saxophone in the same key? They are not. Alto is in E flat, tenor is in B flat. All right, C sharp major on alto sax, the thing about playing a C sharp major scale is every single note has to be sharped. Because if you play C major, nothing is sharped. C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. So when you play C sharp major, everything is sharped. C sharp. I'll play them as I say them. C sharp, D sharp, E sharp, F sharp, G sharp, A sharp, B sharp. B sharp is the same as C, and C sharp. Jaden is asking me to play Flight of the Bumblebee, and this is a song I really should learn more because a lot of people ask for this one. But I can always play the beginning of it because it's just a chromatic scale. That's all I know. I have to learn the rest of it. Okay, so let's see here. Thank you. So Sarah Parsons, can I give Sarah Parsons is asking for advice about what to do at Solo Ensemble. It's my first year to be able to do it. I have no clue what we're doing there. Okay, so Sarah, we have a lot of schools have a solo ensemble festival. We have a solo festival at my school where I teach. So basically what you want to do is check in with your teacher, your band teacher, and ask them what solos you should choose from. They might have a list of solos. So first thing you should do is check in with your band teacher, find out when it is and what time it is and all the rules you have to follow. But then you should get a solo from your teacher and you should start practicing it every day and to be as prepared as possible. And then on the day of the solo festival, you'll probably be assigned a time to show up and a time to go warm up and go in the room, and you play your solo and you do your best on it, and you get some, I think you get some ratings or some feedback from the judges. So it's a really cool thing. I think everyone should do it. Daniela, is it hard to switch from clarinet to alto sax? Not so hard, no, because a lot of the fingerings are similar. It's just the difference is when you play clarinet, the clarinet comes down this way. When you play sax, the mouthpiece comes out straight a little bit more. Okay. Lath, I don't know Christmas Spectacular. Is that a song you're playing in band? I don't know that song. Okay. Oh, did Allison's question get highlighted and I didn't answer it? Let's see here. Yes.
Yes.
How do you play the flats on alto sax? Okay. There are a lot of, well, it might take me a while to explain all the flats on the alto sax, but I'll explain some of them, okay? So G, let's go here. The most common flats you have are B flat. So B flat, you actually play an A and this key right here. It's like an A sharp, but it's also a B flat. So B flat on sax is A plus this side key right here. Then I'll teach you one more flat, okay? To play an E flat. Oh, Allison Weaver wants to play Old Town Road. Okay. Yeah, so you need to know an E flat too. So E flat is 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, pinky. I think it's a. Oh, what key do I do it? Oh. Right. C, B flat, A flat, right there, and then F. That's how you play Old Town Road. There's the flats you need for Old Town Road. Okay. And Dennis, are there other highlighted questions I've missed?
Yeah.
Probably.
Okay. Yeah, we started. Here's one. Brandon Max, the double read, you speaking answered the question, the double read things does throw off a lot of beginners. But it really depends on the person because some people find it harder than others.
I see it. The double read thing does throw off a lot of beginners, but it really depends on the person because some people find it harder than others. Oh, Random Max, I think, was answering Aaliyah's question, maybe?
Yes.
Okay.
That was it.
So, yeah, I mean, yeah,
Great.
oboe can be a challenging instrument. And actually, this relates, someone else just asked me a question about oboe. Who was it? Someone asked me if I've ever played oboe. Aaliyah. Oh, Aaliyah. All right, there you go. So, yeah, Aaliyah asked me if I've ever played oboe. And yes, I've played the oboe. I learned, like, the basics of the oboe. I don't have any oboe videos. I think I have one where I play a song on oboe. But that's definitely on my to-do list. I want to do some oboe videos. I have some friends that play oboe because oboe is just a really amazing instrument. I love the sound of an oboe, and I wish more kids would play it. I think sometimes kids find oboe harder than other people, like than other instruments. I think that's what our friend said on the chat. You know, the oboe takes a lot of practice here with your muscles to get a good sound. So more oboe videos definitely on my list of things to do. Ace Pez, I have a performance exam tomorrow. I get really nervous, and do I have any tips? So Ace, if it makes you feel any better, I get questions like this at least once every week of people that are nervous about some sort of performance. And so the best advice I can give is just try to take a deep breath and just do your best at the performance. Realize that on any given day, all you can do is just do your best. And if you make a mistake, this might hopefully make you feel a little better. We all make mistakes, right? And if you do make a mistake, what you definitely have to do in a performance is not stop and restart, and even try not to show in your face that you know you made a mistake. Because some kids, when they make a mistake, they'll kind of shake their heads or make a face. You don't have to do that. You just skip over the mistake and keep going and just try to do your best. All right, Lily Zhu, how do you do tonguing on the clarinet? That's a quick one. Tonguing, everyone say toot, 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 toot. Did you say toot, toot, toot? When you say that, your tongue hits right behind your top teeth, kind of where your gums meet your top teeth. And so when you do that, this is your tongue. Imagine my finger is the tip of my tongue, and it's going to hit the reed right about there. Lath, I don't know that song. Maybe I can Google it at some point. So just I'm going, and every time your tongue hits your teeth, like you're saying two, instead it's going to hit the reed like this. Or someone says, Chloe Hall says T, T, T. Okay, some people say that. As long as it starts with the letter T. I have a friend here, Kenneth, has been asking me, can I do a baritone sax tutorial? Sure. I would love to do a baritone sax tutorial, and I can definitely add that to my list based on your request. So thank you for that request. Baritone sax is an awesome instrument. I really love it. Dennis has highlighted a question for us. How do you get your sound to be perfect on the flute? Because mine makes a weird noise. Anytime there's a question about sound, the answer is playing long tones and working on your embouchure. So the biggest issue that I think people have on flute is a lot of kids let too much air out. They make their whole of their aperture too big. And so it sounds airy. Focus your aperture by making it smaller and focus your air on a very exact point on the edge of the embouchure plate here. And then practice your long tone of holding it as steady as you can. And that will make your sound better. Okay? So, a lot of great questions here today. KP Games just joined. Hi, KP Games. Thank you for being here. Let's see. I also forgot to say hello to my friend Francesco. Francesco, if you're still watching, I want to say hello to you. I saw you check in earlier in the chat. Dennis, can you throw another question my way?
Yeah. Kyle, is he Epic Gamer?
Yes.
How do you get your sound to be perfect, or did you already do that?
I just did that one on the flute.
On the flute, okay.
Yes.
Yeah, there was some up here. We did the tonguing.
And Francesco is here. Ciao, Francesco. Thank you for being here again. Okay,
Yeah.
here's a question just came in from Zay Kid. How come when I play the highest C on clarinet, it doesn't work unless I scale up? Okay, this is a good question. How come when I play high C on clarinet, it doesn't work unless I scale up to the highest C starting from the lower register? I know exactly what you're talking about, Zay Kid. And so what you want to try to do, okay, because a lot of people have, when you're playing high notes, they have problems getting the high note right off the bat. There's a couple things that might be happening. It might be when you go to play the high note that you're closing off the reed. You might need a firmer reed, like I don't know what reed you're playing on, maybe a 3. So a couple people are asking me for Despedido. I will try to get to that next, okay? So what I recommend, if you're able to get the high C by starting at a lower note, like try to get to your high C like this. And then once you have the high C, try going down to lower and lower notes from the high C. Like, and see if you can just get the feeling of keeping that C going when you're jumping down to lower and lower notes. And that's one suggestion I have for you, so I hope that helps. Despacito. What's up, Dennis?
Yeah, Galacino? Is that what you're going for?
I was going to play Despacito for some people who are requesting it, and then someone...
Galacino has had a question coming up in it, and we got to get it right on there.
I see. Galathema, how do you play... How do you decrescendo?
Yeah, right.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I will get to that. So Despacito. It's been a while since I played this one. Let's see. So I just picked a random key. I don't think that's the original key. And a little lesson for you guys there. I don't know if you noticed, but I made a squeak and I pretended, I just totally ignored my squeak and kept going, which is what you should do if you're doing a concert. And if you make a squeak, just keep going. Pretend like it never happened. Okay, so I see the 16th note question. I see the glissando question. Okay, let's do the decrescendo. And so Galathimo, how do you decrescendo and pianissimo on the B flat clarinet? Okay, do you mean decrescendo and pianissimo at the same? Well, yeah. Okay, so decrescendo means to start louder and get softer gradually. So what you do is when you're louder, you should feel like you're blowing more air faster through the instrument. It's like you have a garden hose and you're letting all the water out on full blast. The air is just streaming out at full blast. And then a decrescendo is you slowly maybe turn the nozzle so less and less air or water in a hose situation, or in your playing, it's your air. Less and less air is coming out. So. Until you feel like you're barely letting any air through the mouthpiece and you're still maintaining a sound. And that's how you do pianissimo and decrescendo. Now, someone else asked about 16th notes, and that relates to a question I get every week, which is, how do you play faster? Someone asked me about double tonguing. So all of these questions, whenever you want to play something that's tricky, fast, you have to slow it way down with a metronome. So you get a metronome. So I'll do it on flute, okay? So if you have a metronome going, I think Neil Rocks wants me to play trombone. I have a feeling. Okay, so you have the metronome going, and you do slow 16th notes. Toot, 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 toot. Start there. Now that's just if you're practicing just 16th notes on the same note. Now if you've got maybe a scale, and you might have to slow it down more. You might have to go da 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 da, and then gradually speed it up. So you won't ever get anything to go fast unless you start slow. Okay? You gotta start slow. Okay. Chloe Hall, what time do I do the videos? I do my live streams generally, oh geez, we're overtime, I just realized. I generally do my videos every Sunday at 5 o'clock. It's 5 o'clock here on the East Coast of the United States. And I know it's different time, maybe where you are. But Chloe, we do 5 o'clock live stream, and then I try to get up a new tutorial on my channel once a week. Doesn't always happen, but I try to get a new tutorial every week. Okay, and then the quick question about glissando before we go. Francesco says it's midnight in Tunis, where he's watching from. Glissando, okay, generally they'll give you a starting note and an ending note. And what you would want to do is use the scale of the song. So if you're in the key of C major, and you're going from F to B flat, you go. So just going F, G, A, B flat, like that. Or if you have to start lower, like if I was starting on a D, I wouldn't. If you're doing a glissando, you can also. You don't always have to stay in the key. It's just getting that sound of going up the scale in a smooth way. So start, just like I was talking about before with the 16th notes, start off slow and then maybe try to increase your speed. Okay, so Dennis, we are actually getting ready to wrap up. I'm going to, I know, disappoint some people who are sad to see us go, but we are going to be back next week. At 5 o'clock. Okay, so what I'll do is, and I don't know if Uncle Joe might have had to check out because I know he could only stay for a half hour. But I'm going to give a couple quick shout outs to those of you who are watching. My apologies if I didn't answer your question. And I thank those of you who are just helping us out by not spamming the comments. Appreciate that. And thank you so much. If I didn't get to your question, Ian, thank you, and Random Max, and Ilias, your flute is very airy. Make your air hole smaller. Okay. Kurt, there's your shout out, and Carson and Gabriella, bye bye. All of my friends who are watching here. Dennis, thank you for another great live stream. Appreciate it as always.
You're welcome. It was a lot of fun.
Okay, and we'll see all our friends next week. And until then, everybody, make sure you practice, practice, practice. And as I said earlier in the stream, if you want to share with me a video of you playing a song, I'm going to add a link to my website. And my website is drselfridgemusic.com. And I will put that link in the description. And I'm going to put up a spot on my website where you can click and you can send me a video of you playing your instrument. I can give you a few comments. I would love to hear you playing your instrument. Okay? And thank you all so much for watching. And now it's time to say bye-bye. Bye, Dennis. And bye, everyone.
Bye-bye. Take care.